So we're going to learn about yet another graph. These graphs get a little bit easier with each time we look at them because so much is similar. This one we're going to look at is the square root graph. So y equals, now to get a square root, you can type in sqrt and it starts giving you the square root symbol with the little cursor underneath it. So I just need to put x. So y equals the square root of x. And that should look somewhat familiar. In fact, it should look like a parabola that's been rotated about the origin 90 degrees clockwise, but then we've just kept the top half of it. Okay, so if you can visualize the basic parabola and then rotating it around 90 degrees clockwise and then just keeping the top branch of it. That's what the square root graph is. For the square root graph, the most important point is this point right here. Just like for the parabola, it's the origin. And just like parabolas and cubics, we can move square roots around, and we're going to focus in on this most important point. So if I wanted to move this square root function, say, across 1 and up, say, 3, well, then I could add 3 at the end. That lifts it up 3. So I've gone from the origin, I've lifted it up 3. And then we don't have brackets, but what we do have is a square root symbol. And so underneath the square root symbol, it behaves a little bit like brackets. So if I want to move it one place to the right, I actually need to minus 1. Okay, and you can see the square root symbol is now extended over all of that x minus 1. If you want to, you could even wrap that up in brackets just to emphasize that inside the brackets, it's opposite day. And you see the most important point for the square root function has been moved to the right one and lifted up 3. So it behaves very, very similar to parabolas and cubics. And you can move it down and left in just the same way. For example, if I wanted to move it, say, down here, that would mean I'd need to move it to the left 2 and drop it down 4. So at the end is how you move it up and down. So I can go minus 4 to drop it down 4. And inside the brackets is how you move it left and right. And if I want to move it left to minus 2, I need to type in plus 2. And there we go. I've got it exactly where I want it. The most important point has been moved to the left 2 and dropped down 4. Now, just like parabolas and cubics, we can also use a domain for this and turn it on and off. For example, if I wanted just this little part of it between, say, an x value of minus 2 to an x value of 0, because the origin is an x value of 0, then I use the curly brackets, and inside here I go a starting value as I read left to right of minus 2, then that less than or equal to symbol, x less than or equal to again, and 0. So this is a graph that has been, looking at its most important point, shifted to the left 2, dropped down 4, and it's turned on here at an x value of minus 2, and it's turned off here at an x value of 0. So with square root graphs, just like parabolas and cubics, we can move them left and right, up and down, turn them on, turn them off. You can actually also stretch them as well in the vertical direction, and just like parabolas and cubics, it's this number right here. So 2 would make it more stretched, 3 even still more. You can see it's being sort of stretched vertically. If it's minus, then it's been inverted, so flipped upside down, and you can have it sort of stretched as well. So everything you can do with parabolas and cubics, you can also do for square root graphs. Okay, hopefully this was a useful video.